So in this session, I'm going to give you an overview of three different assessment tools that are often used on a national scale, and so they give you give an institution some comparative information about their institution. So the first one we're going to talk about is the NSSE, National Survey of Student Engagement. This is probably the most widely used survey instrument, I would say, in higher education, and where they give you a lot of different reports to go through. I'm only going to give you a few of them to work through, and as you work through those, I think you're going to say that's more than enough information that you have gotten about about the institution. And so a reminder that this is all going to be authentic data that you work through, and I think that's best. I think that maybe engages you more into into the material. So down here you'll see the different tabs that we have here. The About tab will give you information about this report and about the themes and the engagement indicators in that. So this is a survey that's given out to first year students and to seniors during the spring semester. And so with all the different items that exist in it, they put them into these different engagement indicators and into these themes then as well. So they're kind of trying to give a broader scale of each of the different items. So you'll see the four main themes are academic challenge, learning with peers, experiences with faculty, and campus environment. And then you'll see they have more specific related to that, higher order learning, reflective integrative learning, and so forth. And so in these more specific areas is what you're going to want to focus on when you're trying to figure out what are the specific areas that we need to work on for improvement. And actually, even from here, what you want to look at, what would be over here are the specific items that fit into each of these engagement indicator scales. So it'll be good for you to look through this section as well within it. And then they give you an overview of things. So how are you doing at your institution compared to other institutions? So you'll see here, they break down, an up arrow, very nice kind of dashboard-like information here. Up arrow, you're doing significantly better as compared to other institutions, and you'll see they describe this as an effect size of at least 3 in magnitude. Effect size is basically just taking the mean difference between our institution and the average for a particular the comparison population. So we get that mean difference and we divide it by the pooled standard deviation. And the standard deviation is basically the typical difference we'd expect by chance between two groups. And so if that's 0.3 or larger, that's considered to be a pretty large effect size. So you'll see the different ones we have here, and the down arrows here of what we see if these seem to be problem areas. So you'll see for the different themes and the different engagement indicators, this is for the first year students as compared to CCC&U institutions. That's Coalition for Christian Colleges and University Institutions. So institutions that are more similar to Bethel. One interesting aspect about that group, typically those schools are a little smaller than Bethel is. And so that sometimes can have an impact on the results. And then also another piece of information that you wouldn't get from NSSE or from anyone else, just to let you know though, that's typically actually a really rigorous group to compare yourself with. CCCU schools tend to do quite well on these assessments. And then this is compared to other schools in our Carnegie class. So Carnegie gives different classifications for universities. These are other universities that are similar size and scope as Bethel. And then compared to the NSSE average, just the total population of all the schools that participated in the NSSE. So you'll see the engagement indicators here. I don't want to go into too much detail because that's part of your job is to look through this information. But you'll see certain areas to where we seem to be doing quite well, and other areas in which seems to be challenges for us as an institution. And we see the same kinds of things with the seniors. as well. So bits of information, again, the same comparison groups that we have here, and the information that's listed here for each of the different engagement indicators. In the next tab here, you'll see a breakdown then for each of the different themes. So this academic challenge theme, and again, this is a focus on first-year students. It gives you a breakdown of the means for this. And by the way, this is on a 60-point scale. You'll see this information here in the document. You'll see it online as well. And this is so Bethel mean, and then comparison with the other groups here as well. Now, a little thing for you to know, you don't need to have a detailed understanding of statistics to be able to work through these reports. There's certain kinds of things that you should know, though. One is that when you're not sure about something in a chart, always look at the notes underneath the table. And then you'll see here, what you'll see in a number of statistical charts is these asterisks. And when an asterisk exists there, it's telling you that there's a statistically significant difference. And you'll see down here, you might barely be able to see, that's telling us if there's two of them, that's a significant difference between these two groups, and the significance level is less than 0.01. When there's three of them, the significance level is less than 0.001. Basically, that's telling you the more asterisks there, the larger the difference, the more likely, that we know that this is a strong, significant difference that exists. So an example here for this is the learning strategies. Bethel's significantly lower as compared to Carnegie class institutions. And then here you'll just see a graphic version of this. This is the box and whiskers. And so there's a description of the box and whiskers down here. So this would be at the 5th percentile. This would be at the 25th percentile. This middle line is at the 50th percentile, the median. This is at the 75th percentile. And then at the top here, this would be a student at the 95th percentile. So it gives you a sense of both what's nice about it graphically, gives you a sense of the distribution, gives you where the median would be. By the way, that circle is where the mean is. And the mean and the median can be, certainly as we know, different depending on how skewed the distribution is. And gives you a sense of the variability of the distribution as well. And then down a little farther on here, you'll get a breakdown for the particular items for each of the assessment indicators, these engagement indicators. So you see the specific item related to it, how Bethel students respond to that as compared to students at other institutions. So you'll see here, this is the percentage responding very much or quite a bit about how much their coursework emphasized, and then each of the different items here. So what's nice about this is you can look here as what are the specific areas, if there's significant differences, that are causing the differences to exist compared to our institution compared to other institutions. And then you'll see down here, we just have this, that was just for freshmen. We have this for seniors as well. And then we have it for, remember, that was just for the academic challenge theme. We have it for the other themes as well, the learning with peers and so forth. So we have it on each of those different tabs down here. I don't think you need to go to these next, this high performing tab. I think it's, if you want to look through that's fine. It'll be a lot of the same information that you've already gotten as well. And these other summary tabs will already be a lot of the information that you've already gotten as well right in here. Okay, the second report that I'm going to want you to go through with the NSSE, and again, I'm trimming down the number of reports that you're going to look at. This one is about high impact practices. This is actually a new report for NSSE to focus on the high impact practices, and I think it's a good change that they're making off of this. So you'll see what they consider to be the high impact practices based on their research. Learning community or some other formal program where groups of students take 2 or more courses together. Courses that include a community-based project, such as service learning type of project, work with faculty member on a research project, internship or field experience, some kind of practicum, and then study abroad experience. So You see here the high impact practices, the HIPs that they describe. They give a breakdown of the results of the participation levels. So the blue says they participated in 2 or more of these HIPs. Yellow means they participated in 1 of them. Here you got first year students. Here you've got seniors. And then down here for the specific areas, you see the breakdown differences for Bethel in the comparison groups. And again, a reminder that it gives you whenever you see those asterisks there, you see that that's saying that there are significant differences that exist between the 2 groups. Okay, so an example here for first year students. Our Bethel students are significantly less likely to participate in service learning as compared to CCCU students at the freshman year. It's actually quite similar to the Carnegie class and the NSSE overall population, but quite different compared to our CCCU peers in that first year experience. So that's an example of what it is that you can work through for the high impact practices report. Here's just more information for each of these as well. A lot of times what they'll do is break these down in a number of different ways for institutions to look through the results. The last one I want you to take, that I want to take you through, is the frequency and statistical comparison. Basically, this is giving you the information on all of the items that are asked in the survey. So you'll get to see every single item that's asked in the survey, and you'll get to see comparisons here with each one. So this is the freshman year tab. You'll see each particular item is listed here. The responses, so you'll get to see the response options that are given. It gives you the count, how frequent this happened, the percentage related to that, and then comparison with these other comparison groups again. Gives the overall mean score, and then you'll see the comparison of that mean with these other groups as well. So again, a reminder: the asterisk one of them means it's significant, but it's not as hugely significant as others. 2 of them means it's less than 0.01. 3 of them means the significance level is less than 0.001. So example here, the prepared 2 or more drafts of a paper or assignment before turning it in. Here you see big differences for our Bethel first year students as compared to first year students at other institutions in all the different comparison groups. So that's one example to look through. So you'll see there's a number of different items on here. It's easy to get swallowed up in looking into all this information. That's why looking at the engagement indicators report will be helpful to start out with first. Towards the end of this report, you'll see some things that all institutions are interested in focusing on. How would you evaluate your overall education experience at this institution? And if you could start all over again, would you go to the same institution? So these are obviously important target items that are here as well. NSSE oftentimes tells you not to focus so much on those, but every institution is going to. It's only natural. You want to see overall what the satisfaction level is. So those are the 3 reports I'm going to want you to go through NSSE. You can see there's a lot of information here. It's a lot of work going through the reports. That's why it is that I want you to work through these in groups. It's going to make this a little bit more manageable to work through.